What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Loki. He's the one, the only Magyar. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Hades. He is known as IamMagic. Both these players incredibly skilled at this game. If you had to put a rating towards their name at this period of time, would definitely be at least 2k each, so I'm going to be very excited to see what these guys come up with in this map, which is Mediterranean. So we're going to see some water fighting on in this little pond here, maybe some side fighting on the sides, and maybe, you know, who knows what could happen. It's one of my favorite maps because the focus of this fight in the middle is so important, but it's not the be-all and end-all because there is a very strong possibility for land aggression if you play it correctly. We do see Magyar going for some boars over here. He's got his dock up. He's building 2 fishing ships. He threw 4 villages onto wood straight away, which is an interesting choice before moving over onto this food. That's obviously going to get him a couple more fishing ships out fast, as well as that house. So a very good start, very economically efficient, able to get as much out of this early dock and early fish as possible. And we see Magic doing something pretty standard. You want to throw 4 villages onto that wood, the rest onto food. You get about 4 fishing ships for a 410 advance, or 6 fishing ships for a little bit later. That'll allow you a lot of good stuff. We do see a little bit of idle build time there, so that's going to set him back just a couple of seconds. Not too big of a deal. Magyar, on the other hand, is getting some of those dwarves out. This movement onto this boar was really efficient. He's going to be able to grab that 50 food in order to build another gatherer just in time. He's at 90%, able to queue that next one up. Still building fishing ships. He's got 4 now. He's going for that 5th. Definitely not thinking about the temple just yet. Still needs to find that 100 gold. So he's going to build a couple more fishing ships before he gets that. We see the idle villages. They're just going to move over to these straggler trees before making their way over to one of these wood piles here. I don't like seeing the wood like this because it's just not that much, and you're going to find yourself hitting an awkward point in the classical age where all of these trees exhaust and you have to move over to here. Luckily, it's not too far away, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. We'll see how he does decide to deal with that, though. Magyar now gearing up for that temple. We see Magic also building a temple, so both going for fairly fast advance times. We'll see what Magyar can do. Actually moving his villages over onto food now that he's got enough wood to build that temple. It's interesting. Seems to be something that's done in order to maximize amount of fishing ships and amount of aggression with the advance time. Does not look like he's going to be grabbing any more dwarves, so we're going to have to see some gatherers on gold, which isn't going to be that efficient. However, if you don't grab the pickaxe upgrade, the difference in gatherers versus dwarves is pretty minuscule, so it's not the worst thing to do. We do see him building a dwarf now, so he's going to have 3, so that might be enough for the initial stages of the classical age. We do see a bunch of villages now moving over to the wood as he's gearing up for that classical age. Going to be about 410. Magic, on the other hand, also going for that 410 advance time. You can see it's a little bit late because he's had that idle build time there. So he's going to be building a couple of storehouses, or 1 storehouse, and probably another dock. He's got 9 villages on wood, 5 villages on gold. He's going to be moving this villager over here. You want to put the dock as close to your second fishing spots as possible, so you get maximized income from your fishing ships. You just see a nice, healthy amount of fishing ships with this advanced time. 7 fishing ships. That's actually really good. I wonder if that might mean that he's not going to be able to afford as many triremes straight away. We do see that scout becoming a nuisance now. It's actually one of the great things about the Vubli balanced patch is that so we see this copper scout can't actually get in there and stop this from happening, but the Vubli balanced patch actually gives the Ulfsark the ability to passive stance and not fight back against the Catastrophic Scout when it hits it. So this harass doesn't actually do anything. You see this Scout just slowly trying to bash away at this, but the Ulfsark doing enough to keep it from going down. You see Magyar now building up this second house because he needs the population for it. But it's gonna be might be okay, might not be okay. We see a couple of trireme coming out now. Doc's gonna get up, but it's gonna be a difficult situation to deal with 2 triremes versus 1 longboat. But we do have another one coming up pretty quickly, and maybe we see, yeah, we see that issue of all of those fishing ships coming into play here, meaning he's going to have a little bit of idle time in one of these docks because he spent the extra wood on fishing ships. So Magyar are going to be able to survive a little bit longer here on the water. Magyar actually going to have to move across and hide his longboats because he doesn't want to fight, and he's going to be garrisoning longboats into his docks to fight back. Don't see any hint of moving over onto land. No forward buildings from Magyar, so definitely going to be sticking around. This is why with your Catastrophic Scout in this situation, if you're not sure what your opponent's doing, what you want to do is you want to run him into their wood line and see how many villages are on wood. It could actually be a little bit of a, how you say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Could be a little bit of a trick because he's got 2 separate wood piles here, so if he comes in and sees only 7 villages on wood, he might feel like Magyar would be sneaking some sort of land thing. But we do see some villages being popped out here, still building triremes, so it's not going to be set that far back. Magyar actually having excess resources here. You might want to think about building up a 3rd dock in this situation. If you ever get pestilenced, you can't spend your wood and gold because the boats can't be produced. So what you can do is build up another dock, and then with that extra dock you can catch up because you've got those resources banked, and you can catch up because you've got 3 docks producing instead of 2 on the trireme numbers. It's always very smart. And then we see Magyar now throwing up that dock. It's a little bit of a precarious position here. If Magic does spot it, which he has spotted it, he should be thinking about killing it off. But there we go. Magyar now popping his boats out. We see Magyar with a 50 population to Magic's 50 population, so it's very close here. And it's basically going to come down a lot to micro here. So we've got to get a big fight happening now in the middle of the map with boats running back and forth. You can see some focus fire happening here. Really small boat movements at this level of the play because people refocus fire so quickly, or Magyar refocuses fire so quickly that you might not want to send your boat as far back as you would normally. Mostly we're just seeing a lot of refocusing, not a lot of moving back and forth, a little bit, but maybe there was some lag in this game or something. But it looks like Magyar going to come out on top of this fight just because he's got the superior positioning. He's drawn Magic in enough with his kiting of the longboats. Going to force Magic to move back now. Magic building up another storehouse, and Magyar moving in here. I'm not sure. 8 boats to 10, so it's going to be very difficult for Magic to keep fighting here. And we do have the 3 docks from Magyar here, so he needs to keep up building those houses. Potentially think about grabbing pickaxe just because he's got the excess wood at the moment. It's always nice, especially when you get that advantage on water. You want to really bring it home by basically stamping on his neck, you know. Every small advantage, you know, if you don't have to build an extra trireme because you're ahead, you should spend those resources. We do see a Chiron out and about here, picking off some dudes here. A couple of longhouses going up now for Magyar. I would just grab all these villages and just attack this Chiron right now. There's not a lot you can do about it. Or, I guess, relocate, grab, what do you call it? Watchtowers. There you go, Magyar grabbing that watchtower there. Got a Hursar out here. Chuck him over and start hitting that Chiron. Maybe get lucky with a myth unit spawn. we see Magyar not falling for any hiding tricks. We see another dock going up for Magic. This is actually a nice trick from him. He's still going to be fighting this. We see Magyar trying to transition into land, but not continuing the water game, with Magyar now building fishing ships instead of longboats. That means that Magic's got an opportunity to catch back up here and maybe take the water back. Got to be really careful when you do this though, because you can easily be gold starved, easily be basically land rushed. Though Hades does have extra building hit points, throw up some walls over here, throw up some walls over here, and then you can pretty much safely protect against any of that land aggression and hold off basically. We see Magic sitting at 58 population to Magyar's 70, so not quite caught up just yet. And I don't like the way that Magyar is focusing two separate docks at one time. You want to be attacking one dock, that way you kill it off basically faster. See a bunch of triremes now coming up for Magic. He's going to be attempting to take out all of those Magyar longboats. He's going to have to retreat now. We'll see if Magic decides to continue fighting, and he does. He's going to build 3 more longboats right now. It's going to be a difficult situation for him to come back right now. He's actually only sitting at 10 longboats, and some of those are injured to Magic's 13. Do see a healing spring coming up here, but that doesn't do a lot when basically doesn't do a lot when they're moving. If they stop, then they actually heal pretty significantly fast. But you can see this one longboat that's being healed right now hasn't actually got any health back, so it's kind of more of a lie than anything else. We need to get all of these boats attacking right now. You don't want to have any hitting fishing ships. You've got to basically focus fire as well as you possibly can in this situation. Magyar does have pickaxe now, so he's going to be sitting in a kind of nice place. Magic, not the best micro here, but I don't think he really needs to. There's so many triremes here. We do see a couple of raiding cavalry coming into the fray here. Chiron throwing them away. Nothing happening there. Wall is up for Magyar, so he's going to be able to contain that side of the map. And do we see Magyar continuing the trireme? Sorry, longboat. I got it. Longboat production. We don't. He's not going to build anymore. He's just going to stay on the. He's just going to stay on the land. So interesting to see how he deals with this. He's got a lot of raiding cavalry coming out at the moment. Well, I say a lot. He's got 2 running around. He needs to pick off quite a few villages for this to be worth it, though. So we're going to see if he can manage to do that. See some archery ranges and a military academy going up. You can see this is a little bit old school. You kind of want to go for that stable on a map like this. Military academy, though, can be okay. It's just a bit slow because you're not Zeus's hoplites, so your hoplites are actually quite slow and they can't get around the map very fast. But if you're going to be focusing on one small location, I guess it can be okay. They also cost less gold, and you might be concerned about being gold starved with your gold mine at 500 gold. We see that Magic is picking off all those fishing ships, and he should be thinking about building his own fishing ships at this point in time, not triremes. He needs to stop trireme production completely. You should not be caring. If Magyar decides to fight back on water, that is completely fine by me. He killed off all of his fishing boats, so him fighting back isn't actually a big deal. We see some long houses coming up in the forward section on both sides of the map. This is a really strong way to play this map. You want to be attacking on both sides of the map, containing it so that your opponent can't sneak a gold mine. And you basically go for that gold starve if you can. We see the hoplite and Toxotos with Ajax and Chiron coming in here. This is actually a really good fight for Magic, because he's got the 2 heroes. It's actually enough to fight against all these units. Heroes are really strong units. And raiding cavalry, see how big this difference is. So that hoplite decision so far actually really good for Magic, and we do see him he's actually going to need to move over here onto this. Might want to even think about upgrading the watchtower upgrade to get up watchtower here, just to make sure you can defend, because Magyar is going to go completely balls to wall on the land at this point in the game. He actually has fallen quite a bit far behind on the population, but all of this population is in triremes at the moment. For Magic, that is. I wouldn't mind seeing walls being thrown up over here by Magyar if he has the gold, which he kind of does. So many longhouses getting thrown up. This is like one of the reasons people don't like playing as Norse, because their units take so long to build. You actually do need to spam this many longhouses, otherwise you just get you just get put into a position where you've got the resources to build an army, just they don't come out fast enough. So if you build a bunch of longhouses, then you can kind of deal with that nicely. We see a shade now coming over here to scout, but lots of villagers getting lots of gold over here at this point in time. Interested to see how this fight's going to go for Magyar. Magyar got a really nice army composition. Nice. It's actually really good building protection here with this straggler tree here, preventing these rain cavalry from being able to get in here and get us around. These Toxotos going to do a bunch of damage to basically to Magyar's army. If you get those Toxotos onto anything, they just shred through it. Hades Toxotos as well. Incredibly powerful units. Do we see upgrades for the fishing boats? No, we don't. That's one reason why you wanna be doing. Well, I guess he doesn't have the gold. For some reason, he hasn't brought that many villagers over to gold. I would be taking some off wood and potentially throwing them into the gold as well. Maybe building a storehouse over here. Always want to continually build more storehouses. It's always worth it. The amount of walking time that happens is not okay. He's got a bunch of idle villages as well. This isn't looking too good for Magic. Needs to get that economy in order, otherwise Magyar's going to be able to catch back up. We do see Magyar now sitting at 98 population of 115. That's one reason why this game isn't actually as close to over as we thought when there was 70 pop to 115. Basically, you can't get more population than 115, so if you can basically not lose units and continue to increase your population, you're going to be in a good position to deal with what your opponent has. And we see this nice micro here from Magyar pulling back the raiding cavalry being attacked. They don't actually take damage if they're moving and are being shot at from Toxotos. Toxotos are kind of not that accurate. Same with any projectile unit in the game. I see some really nice micro actually going on here from Magyar. Don't know if it's on purpose, but these Toxotos are not going to be able to kill that many units if they're sitting here not doing that much. Actually, Magic definitely needs to bring his villagers into this fight and be using them to meat shield for his Toxotos. Otherwise, he's going to just lose them because all of these throwing axemen are going to deal so much damage. Magyar being able to push through here. If he can get a gold star, this game will be over. And we see Magic really trying to hold strong here. He's got he's not really training units that well. He's got 1300 wood, doesn't have his current up, needs to get some villagers on favor, needs to get this temple rally point set up, move it over onto the throwing axemen. Needs to be thinking about that a little bit more, maybe just panicking a little bit because he knows that this could be very bad for him, but Magyar deciding to take the foot off the throat a little bit, having picked off so many villages there actually. If we look at the village count, 11, 18, 15 versus Magyar 16, 15, 11. So we're actually in a similar economic position, unlike before when Magic was significantly far ahead because he had those fishing boats being able to be produced. And what we kind of need to see here from Magic, I reckon, is spending some of this wood. Whether grabbing some more fishing spots over here, building some more military academies and archery ranges, just so you can continually spam stuff. Magyar probably going to be thinking, well actually maybe not thinking about going to the next stage. If I was Magyar, I would probably be thinking about that. Maybe coming over this, definitely coming over this side to attack now that that military academy is back up. We do see a troll getting pushed out. As we know, trolls OP. Basically, just myth units in general, OP when your opponent doesn't have a raged hero out. Basically, you want to try and shuffle your myth units around when they have ranged units, just because they get picked off really fast. But if they don't have any heroes, myth units reign supreme. You can see some more villagers being picked off here. Magyar not really focusing on the army side of things here. He's really just picking off villagers. So he's trading army for villagers, which is sort of a good idea in this situation. He's actually just trying to stay in the game economically instead of militarily, because he's got such a big military at the moment. And we do see a bunch of farms up for him. Magyar now, he's got all of those upgrades you need, husbandry and plow when you start farming. Still don't see that fishing upgrade for Magic though. Really need to be thinking about grabbing that one. He doesn't have the gold though, so that's understandable. It's just so strong. He does have 200, he basically has excess food, excess wood. Just needs to get that gold income happening here. And we see some villagers coming over to this side, but because Magyar's planned ahead, he's going to be picking off these villagers with this army that's over here and all of these longhouses that are already built up. Magyar putting this stranglehold onto Magic. Magic going to have to pull something out of his hat here if he wants to stay in this. I reckon Watchtower would be a start, being Hades buildings being able to do more damage and actually just stay up longer. Also need to get that Chiron up. He's got 3 villages on favor, so he does have the resources for it. He's got an Ajax queued. Oh, he does have the Chiron up. I am an idiot. Chiron being picked off though by all of those throwing axemen, so the troll's going to keep doing work. Magyar sitting at 80 favor because of this constant fighting, so there's just going to be a bunch of trolls coming out. And something that I learned the other day is that apparently trolls gain hit points when they fire. I'm not sure if it's, I think it's 25% of their damage, so what's that? Something like 3 health, 3.5 health back an attack, which is pretty significant if you ask me. I see the Ajax coming in here now. Magyar really trying to stop this gold income from Magic at the moment. Magic sitting at 62 population to 95 population of Magyar, but Magyar's army has subsided quite a little bit here, whereas the army of Magic is still kind of relevant. Some raiding going on over here now. Going to pick off a bunch of these villages. Might want to think about not having your villages on the other side of the map when you haven't got any army over there, and you know there's an army, but that's just me. Kind of, when you're playing against Magyar, things do tend to go by the wayside. Magyar now hitting that 110 population of 115. Let's see what he can do here. He can just like position his trolls in here to pick off villages pretty fast, and basically just set his army on this gold mine. It wouldn't be a bad idea either to just like also throw up a watchtower, seeing he's already got that watchtower upgrade. Throw up a watchtower, very strong indeed. Cycle's coming into the fray now, but the trolls focus firing. You see how fast it dies? Myth units are strong against myth units. It's something that we learn in Age of Mythology class. And basically, if you've got myth units, you can focus fire. Myth units, they die fast. Chiron focus firing those hammer trolls. Oh, we got the hammer upgrade. That means they're even stronger. How exciting. And we do see some of those raiding cavalry now coming through here, trying to pick off more units, but yeah. I actually would be funny. What you probably might want to consider doing in this situation as Magic, or probably before now, would have been potentially grabbing a transport ship and coming over to one of these gold mines. There's a lot of pigs here, so Magyar might actually have that scouted in a weird way, even though he doesn't have any units over there. But you could at least give it a go as a last ditch effort to stay in the game. Sneak a gold mine with a transport ship, come around here, would be interesting indeed. Magic now sitting at 60 population to Magyar's 111. Definitely need to think about putting that stranglehold a little bit more succinctly on this gold mine. Having only 4 villages currently mining gold is a pretty significant issue. He's got no villagers mining, chopping wood at the moment. He's only actually got 7 villages left at the moment, and that's terrifying when you think about it. He's got 16 fishing ships, so his economy is in like pretty dire straits if you ask me, compared to Magyar, who's got 24 food, 15 wood, 14 gold. Economy is through the roof. Throwing up that armory, going to be going to the heroic age, probably through Bragi, maybe actually through can't even say it. Is it Njord or Jord? Correct me in the comments. I'm going to go with Jord. And he could use Walking Woods over here and basically finish the game. Do say that armory almost up here. Probably would have thrown it up faster if you used the 3 throwing action instead of 1 off arc, but that's neither here nor there. Looks like the timing attack's probably going to be enough. We do see Jord coming through. I'm going to go with the N is silent. That makes the most sense to me. Yeah. Gold mine running out of the back here from Magyar, but he's got this gold up here pretty easily to grab. And basically, this is just a waiting game here. I don't see Magic being able to crawl his way out of this hole. But potentially some walls, some more buildings might be able to delay the inevitable. But unfortunately for Magic, he has fallen so far behind economically that the only thing that can really save him is some really great positioning and great micro, and also probably some more myth units and some heroes. We just seen on the Cyclops coming out. If you just, we saw some deletion there of raiding cavalry, going to be throwing down a town center as soon as possibly can. It'd be funny if Magyar came over here and walled off this location. This is a little bit old school though. Not many walls used back in 2010-11. People were men back then. We've descended into terrified children. Because that's what walls are for doing, right? Keeping children in, not keeping me out. Yeah. I'm lame. I know. See that town center going up. I would be checking down that what do you call it? That walking woods as soon as I can, and potentially even building a dock and building a kraken just to raid fishing ships, because that's where all of Magic's economy is. We see Magic coming in here for one last fight. I guess that's actually a nice walking woods, because those walking woods should technically follow the army instead of being tricked by a villager, just running away one villager, taking away 5 walking woods. Walking woods are incredibly strong, 350 HP, 60 pierce armor, 30 hack armor, and 30 attack damage. Is that attack or crush? Crush attack. So they basically just destroy. We see a mountain giant coming out here. Don't see them very often. All these raiding cavalry are going to be doing complete work here, picking off that entire army of Magic. Not sure what Magic was thinking there coming out of his protected hull there. He probably could have stuck in there a little bit longer. We see another town center coming up from Magyar, taking that back one, just adding insult to injury. No villagers coming out though. All of this, focus on the fight, going to be probably enough to close this game out. We do see that Magyar's army slowly dwindling a little bit here, but not enough at all. Magyar going to be taking this game. Really well played. GG. I think Magic did definitely have a chance to win this game. I think what happened was in this location over here, he either didn't build enough military buildings, or he didn't defend it well enough. He needed to basically maybe wall off something, or build some towers up. He probably had the resources at some point, but decided against it in favor of economy, which 9 times out of 10 is probably the correct decision. But when your opponent needs to destroy your economy in order to catch back up, it's better to be safe than sorry, I reckon. And I think Magic's pretty sorry here. Now, I'm going to say spoiler. So if you're still listening to this and have yet to watch the finals, this is a spoiler of the holiday tournament. So Magic won that tournament, and I just wanted to cast this recorded game just to show you exactly how far Magic has come, still playing this game at a really high level. I managed to catch 2 games of the finals. I woke up and it was 5 a.m. and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna flick it on and see if it's still going. And Mr. went down 4-6 or 6-4 for Magic. It's very sad. Mr. is one of my good friends, so would have liked to see him pull out a win, but he couldn't do it on that day. And congratulations to Magic. Going to be some more games coming up in the coming days/weeks, so look out for them. My name is Boit. Thank you all for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I can't believe the amount of support you guys gave me from my first video. In the first day I had, or maybe in like the first 4 hours or something, I had something like 50 comments, which was absolutely amazing. So I thank you guys so much, and you know what? I'll see you guys next time.